Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to Wally DM. With the recent release of Candlekeep Mysteries, I thought it'd be fun to put a top 5 list together of the best character classes to play in a mystery type of a game. Now do keep in mind this is my list and my top 5, and yours may be different. Be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what subclass you would play in a mystery type of a game. Now when I put my list together, I really honed in on tool proficiencies and skills because I believe ability checks are going to be vital. I'm looking for characters that are going to be able to find clues, so perception and investigation are absolute top of my list, but I would also like characters that would be able to interrogate a suspect or interview a witness. So those characters with persuasion, intimidation, or deception are also going to be handy. And then of course, if you're able to sneak around, maybe swipe a few things that are clues so that you can get a better look at them later, stealth and sleight of hand are also vital. So with those parameters in mind, let's jump into my top 5 list. Coming in at number 5 on my list is the Armorer Artificer. Now I actually chose this for the Artificer class itself, the main class, and you could actually pick any of the 4 subclasses and it would work really well. So if your party needs a tank, you could go with the Battlesmith, or if you want to try out an Alchemist, the Alchemist tools are going to be really handy for detectives, so that would be good as well. But I chose the Armorer because the magical armor that they obtain can help with stealth checks. If you're wearing a chainmail, you usually have disadvantage on that, but the ability later on as the armor progresses in levels will negate that disadvantage and allow them to be a little bit more sneaky. Now the Artificer is intelligence based, so that's helpful right away. At first level they get an ability called Magical Tinkering that allows them to create some types of mundane objects that we could use to pass on secret messages. At level 2, Artificers are able to create what are called infusions, and in these infusions they can pick magical items. So a wand that can detect secret doors or detect magic is going to come in quite handy. There's also things like ropes of climbing, sending stones, helmet of telepathy, gloves of thievery, the list goes on and on. The Artificer can hone in on one of those and be able to create that magical item. Now while magical items are going to be great while playing in a mystery, the Artificer list goes on. We have tool expertise at level 6 that's going to allow us to double our proficiency bonus in tools. And an Artificer starts off with 3 tools at the beginning of their career, and they can also obtain a few more through the backgrounds, and they also get one at level 3. And then finally at level 7, there's an ability called Flash of Genius that allows the Artificer to be able to add their intelligence modifier to the ability check or the saving throw of one of their allies. Definitely a great ability to have, and since the Artificer is intelligence based, this is going to be used quite a bit. Coming in at number 4 on my list is the Circle of Stars Druid. Now the Circle of Stars Druid doesn't have a lot of abilities for being an investigator, but the 2 that they do have are going to be absolutely insane. And not to mention that at 2nd level, when they get their Starry Map, they also get the Guidance cantrip. And I believe the Guidance cantrip is going to be used a lot in a murder mystery or other type of mystery type game. Now, of course, their main ability also at level 2 is their Starry form. And for a Circle of Stars Druid, they're able to take on the form or the constellation form of a dragon. And when they use their wild shape to activate this ability, they can't roll any less than a 10 on any type of an intelligence or wisdom checks. And this is going to include perception and investigation, 2 skills that I'm sure you're going to roll a lot of rolls for in a Candlekeep Mysteries type of a game. So for example, a 5th level druid, chances are they're not going to be able to roll anything less than a 17 if they're in their starry form and trying to make a perception, investigation, or other type of intelligence or wisdom check. Now the Circle of Stars Druid also has their Cosmic Omen that allows a wheel or woe type of a roll. So at the beginning of the day they either get an odd or even roll, and that gives them a d6 that they can either help someone with an ability check or they can not help someone with an ability check. Meaning if they have an ally that is trying to do a perception check, they can give that d6 to them, or if they're trying to lie to an NPC, then we can use the woe part of that and give that d6 to the DM, and they're going to need to subtract that from the NPC's insight check. If you'd like to see a character build for the Circle of Stars Druid, I have one on my channel. Be sure to check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. Coming in at number 3 is the Knowledge Cleric, and they begin right away with obtaining 2 new skills. They can get Arcana, History, Religion, or Nature, and they're going to gain expertise in that, being able to double their proficiency in 2 that they choose. So Arcana and History, or Arcana and Religion, would probably be my go-to choices. At second level, they get the Knowledge of the Ages, which basically means that they can use their channel divinity to become proficient in a skill or tool for the next 10 minutes. Now, while this is going to be great with skills, let's say the cleric needs to try to persuade someone, is not proficient in persuasion, then we can have them use this ability, gain that proficiency bonus for the next 10 minutes, and hopefully succeed. But where I really seen this shine is in tools. You take alchemist tools, and a character or a cleric can become proficient in that for a little bit, and if they're trying to figure out if something is poison or the ingredients of something and some other type of investigative skills with a lab or an alchemist or something like that, they're going to be able to do so. If they're trying to figure out if a document is forged or who wrote a document, then they can take a temporary proficiency in calligrapher's tools. And of course, there's also cartographers, so if they're trying to fill in blank sections of a map or figure out how old a map is, then they can take cartographer's tools. So the access to all these tools on a whim for the next 10 minutes is absolutely great for a Candlekeep Mysteries type of a game. Now at 6th level, the Knowledge Cleric gets the Read Thoughts ability, which is pretty much detect thoughts, and the target or the NPC gets to make a saving throw. If they fail, then our Knowledge Cleric can read the surface thoughts of this NPC. And for the next minute, they have the ability to cast Suggestion without spending a spell slot, and it is an auto succeed. So if we need an NPC to go get a few files from the back office, we can have the Knowledge Cleric go up, talk to them for a little bit, and if they succeed on the original ability, then they can cast Suggestion and tell them to go get those papers for them. So this is going to be very handy for a Knowledge Cleric to be able to manipulate the minds of NPCs and to get items that are out of their reach. In the comment section below, tell me how you would abuse the Suggestion spell in a Candlekeep Mysteries type of a game. Coming in at number 2 on my list is the Inquisitor Rogue. Now the base class of Rogue itself lends itself well to any type of a mystery game. At 2nd and 6th level, they get the Expertise skill, which allows them to double their proficiency bonus in any skills they choose. Now for Inquisitor Rogue, we're going to want that to be Investigation, Perception, Insight, and of course probably Thieves' Tool or another skill of your choosing. At 11th level, the rogue gets an ability called Reliable Talent, which basically says that if a rogue is proficient in a type of a skill, that they can no longer roll less than a 10. So this is going to help the rogue pass any DC that the DM throws at them as long as they're proficient in that skill. Now, as far as the subclass Inquisitor Rogue goes, they get an ability at 3rd level called Ear for Deceit, which basically says that they are going to be hard to lie to. Any roll on their insight that is less than an 8 becomes an 8. A very nice ability to have at 3rd level. They also get Eye for Detail at 3rd level, which is going to allow them to do perception or investigation checks while they're in combat to either help uncover clues or find hidden objects. And at 9th level, they get the Steady Eye ability that allows them to have advantage on all of their perception and investigation skills as long as they're not moving more than half their speed. Now my number 1 pick for a subclass if you're going to be playing in Candlekeep Mysteries is going to be the College of Eloquence Bard. Now the Bard itself actually lends itself as a base class a lot of abilities that you're going to want when you're playing in a mystery type of a game. At 1st level, you get the Bardic Inspiration feature where you can help your allies with their skill checks by giving them a d6 that they can add to their roll. At 2nd level, a bard gets the Jack of all trades feature, which allows them to add half of their proficiency bonus to skills that they're not even proficient in. And then at 3rd level, the base bard gets the expertise, and again they can pick 2 skills and they can double their proficiency bonus on those 2 particular skills. And at 10th level, they can pick 2 more skills and they can double their proficiency bonus on those skills. So right away we're going to be looking at investigation, perception, possibly insight, persuasion, stealth, you name it. At least 2 of those at 3rd level and 2 more at 10th level are going to have expertise just like a rogue. Now I picked the College of Eloquence Bard, and it is going to be the face of your party if you're playing in a Candlekeep Mysteries type of a game. At 3rd level, they get the Silver Tongue ability, which basically says that we cannot roll any less than a 10 on a persuasion or a deception roll. So if we need to try to talk to the city guard to gain access to a crime scene or things of that nature, our College of Eloquence Bard is going to be the front person for being able to do that. At 3rd level, they're probably not going to be able to roll any less than a 15 DC when it comes to persuading the city guard to let him by. At 3rd level, we also get Unsettling Words, which basically says that we can use our Bardic Inspiration, and we can roll that to have a monster or an NPC subtract that number from a saving throw. So with the College of Eloquence Bard, perhaps we're trying to use our Charm Person ability or spell, and we can actually use this D6 to make sure that the DM subtracts that from the saving throw made by the NPC. The best thing about Unsettling Words is it can be used as a bonus action, so if we want to set up an NPC or a monster for our action, such as Charm Person, then we can use Unsettling Words and then cast our spell and hopefully use that Bardic Inspiration to subtract from the roll and watch them fail. Now at 6th level, our Bardic Inspiration gets even more powerful as a College of Eloquence Bard. Once again, we're also going to try to have our allies succeed with their investigative type skills and rolls as we give that Bardic Inspiration, but if we give them that Bardic Inspiration and they fail on a check, at 6th level they get to keep that Bardic Inspiration if they need to try again. And finally at level 6 we get Universal Speech, which allows our Bard to communicate with one or more creatures in an area. They're magically able to understand us. A great ability because we're going to do a lot of talking in Candlekeep Mysteries. Now, if you're interested in playing the College of Eloquence Bard, I do have a character build video on my channel. Be sure to check it out. I will leave a link in the description below. So that's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these subclasses you're looking forward to playing in Candlekeep Mysteries or a different type of a Mystery 5e game. And with that being said, these are my top 5 picks. What falls in your top 5? What subclass do you think lends itself well to being an investigator or a detective in this type of a game? Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video, and on to the next.